Palworld has taken the world by storm and it deserves it. It is a great game. However, I think it is way too predictable. When my pals level up, they stay the same. Same type of pal, same moves, and that's kinda boring. So I'm going to change that. Using the UE4SS debugging tool, we can export all the info we need. The object dump file contains a list of all of the different functions, classes, parameters, and whatever else there is. So, theoretically speaking, all we have to do is go through it to find anything we need. However, there is one small issue. It contains over 170 lines. Maybe if we just search for level it will be better? Nope, there are still way too many. We have to do some data processing. Let's look for all the lines that contain level and pal. Okay, 642 is still a little bit more than I hoped for. 61 is a much more reasonable number. It seems like they also use the term monster instead of pal, so we look for that. From there we go from word to class, etc. I'm not going to make you sit through the entire thing. The main takeaway from all of this is that there are 4 different terms that they use for pal. Pal, monster, character, and otomo, which apparently is Japanese for companion. All of this leaves us with a function called update level delegate. If we hook into that function, we can let it print level up whenever a pal levels up. Easy enough, right? We just need to catch a pal first. Well, that didn't work. Let's try this one instead. Master Waza update when level up. You might be asking yourself, what does Waza mean? Your guess is as good as mine. Now we just need to kill a few more pals to level up and... How did that happen? Anyway, just hit another one and done. Level up. Great news for us, we can use this function. But we have one problem. The class that contains this function, the aptly named Pal Monster Character class, does not contain any useful info in its parameters and functions. Which means we cannot use it. Instead we look for isRare. If we find the class that sets this, we find the class that contains all of the info about the pal. And thus the file that contains the values we need to change. Which is this file. It contains all kinds of info about the pal, like the type, level, if it is rare, etc. So now we need to go from a function that is triggered when the pal levels up, to this class. Then we can change the values in this class and we're done. But how the hell do we go from a function to this class? And which function do we even hook into? Look, did I spend like an entire day looking for different words and classes in the object dump file? Yes. Did I find what I was looking for? Also yes. If you think about it, there are only a few pals that will level up. Our party members, the ones that we have in our party whenever we are, you know, bashing in heads. And if we keep a list of our current party, we can check which one was leveled up whenever the other update level function is called. We search for party and... there! The pal player party pal holder. Try saying that quickly 10 times. First, Otomo pal seems to be one of the party members and it's a class from which we can get the save parameters, so that's great. However, there's one small problem. There are no classes that reference this class. So we have to hook into one of these functions in one of these classes to be able to update our list of the party. The save parameter file does not have any function, so we can ignore that one, but maybe the change pal slot function could work? Then whenever... Wait a second. Pal Monster Character. The class that contains the function that triggered whenever our pal leveled up earlier inherits from pal NPC. How did I miss that? When we follow the inheritance train... Okay, that sounds kinda weird, I'm sorry. When we follow the inheritance tree? Well, whatever. When we do that, we end up at the pal character parameter component. And guess what? From there we can easily get to the save parameters. Now we can finally start making the actual mod. We use a function from Pal character and... Oh, let's try to print the shot attack instead. Okay, that works, but we still need access to the other parameters. If instead we get the save parameter from the same class, we can access all of the values, including the Pal's level. Since more power is always better, let's set the level to 10. Dang it, that doesn't work. It's capped at our own level. So does it work if we set it lower? Yeah, of course, that's fine, but if I want more, that's not okay. So much for my power-hungry self. Now we need to find where the different types of Pals are saved. Let's look for type. Okay, that's not it. Enum, maybe? Oh lord, that's a lot of different files. Way too many to have to comb through. But, luckily my genius knows no bounds. We can just look for the Pal name, like T-Vent. Oh, for fine, we'll print. Well, a level 10 Pal sure would have been useful right now. So that is why searching T-Vent didn't do anything. They don't use the names that are used in the game. It's not a chickpea, it's a chicken Pal. And would you look at that. Searching chicken Pal works. Now we have the entire list of all Pals that are in the game. So the only logical next step is to set every single Pal that levels up into a Lamball. Dude, please stop so I can hit you. Hell yeah, it worked! Now we need to get all of the different Pal types into our code. Can we just import them all like this? No, we cannot. It's a null pointer. Fuck it, we're just going to copy the entire thing. This does mean that if they ever add more Pals, this list will need to be updated, but oh well. Just change sheepball to a random number and done. Randomizing Pals. Huh, that's weird. The problem here might be that some Pals in the list we just copied have not been added to the actual game yet. That means that we are going to have to check every single name in the game. And with we, I mean I. Yay, lucky me. With a count variable, we just iterate through the entire list. Well, ne question mark byte property question mark int property sure is an interesting name for a Pal type. Of course this is not going to work if you just put a number. That number needs to index the list. Just fix that and... Oh my god, this is so embarrassing. I swear this is not my first time writing code. Well, at least now we can get started on the big task. Hey, that's rude! Okay, so the first one works. Why are his hands so big? Never mind, apparently that does not work. Both thumbnails change, but whenever we try to get it out of the bowl, it is still the cat. You know what? That is a problem for future me. Anyway, after some more smacking pals with my baseball bat, we have finally found our first type that is not working. The owl. The next one, the pink kangaroo, is a bit different. It does have a dummy thumbnail. After spending way too much time going through all of the pals, we get this list of pals that are not in the game. Personally, I think my favorite is the bad cat girl, but be sure to leave a comment which one you like the best. With the pal type randomization done, we can move on to the moves randomization. The moves are stored in the equip baza parameter, so we print these every time our pal levels up. Just kill another penguin and... interesting. They're just numbers, not the move name like for the pal types. Looking for sand reveals that the moves are stored in Palwaza ID. However, since we need the numbers, we need to figure out which number corresponds to which move. This is quite easy to do. Ignis Blast prints the number 36, and when we cross-reference this with the list of moves, we can see that Fire Blast is line 43. Since the move starts at line 7, this does indeed correspond. There are 152 minus 7 equals 145 lines of moves in the file, and we ignore the first two, which are None and Human Punch. These moves are indexed starting at 0, but Lua randomization starts at 1, so we randomize the number between 1 and 143 and then add 1. After randomizing the moves, we print them again just as a sanity check to see if it worked. And it works. Wonderful, we're done. Ah shit, that's right. I did make that future me's problem. Does it help if I drop it and pick it back up? It does. Let's take this one out for a spin then. Well, that sure is interesting. Let's quickly remove all the pal specific moves, and there we go, it works. Let's quickly remove all the pal specific moves, and there we go. Fixed it. Now let's fix the stupid models not updating thing. Since it does work after dropping and picking it up, that is exactly what we're going to do. To find which functions we can use, we hook into every function that could be involved in dropping a pal. Okay, that was easy enough. Now we just need to pick it back up. So again, we hook into all these functions and print. Then when we pick it up, it should print something... Fuck. Let's try this again for pal network player component. Not this either? Fine, this is not going to work. Let's try something else. Hopefully there's a useful cheat or something. We hook into the cheat manager and... Well, that sure is not it. But what I did find is this neat little function called force reload player parameter, which I think might be useful. Or apparently not useful at all. However, there is some great news. Moving a pal in and out of a pal box also works, so we're just going to do that instead. For every character slot we get the character handle, which is what stores the save parameters for that pal. Then we check if it is equal to the one that contains our pal and move that one to the box. And apparently they never are equal. Maybe some of them are null? Nope, that's not it either. While I could spend even more time trying to fix this, I'm not going to do that. We are going to try something else. Again. We look for move in the functions, then hook into each of these to see if they are used. Pop the pal indent out of the box and nothing. Instead we look for change. One of the functions we find is the onChange Automo active, which is the function that is triggered whenever we get a pal out of a sphere. It is also the only function that we can get to trigger, so we're just going to try and use that one. This function is part of the Pal Automo Holder component base class. From this class we can get the handle, and from there we can access the parameters and save parameters. Interestingly enough, we can also see that there are 5 instances of this class in my single player file. However, since only the first one has any pals, we're just going to take that one and hope for the best. So let's make our first party pal into a chicken. Okay, so this just causes the same problem again. I have, however, found an interesting function. OnUpdate slot is part of that same class and might be exactly what we are looking for. For now, we're just going to only call it for the pal in the first slot because I'm lazy and I don't want to do an entire for loop. This does mean that we can only check if it works if the first pal levels up, but it will definitely limit effort on my part. Great, that didn't work either. Perhaps if we use the onUpdate individual actor first? No, that also didn't work. Or the onUpdate delegate? Oh, fun, that's not supported. Would you like to hear a fun fact? Would you? Well, who am I kidding? I'm going to tell you anyway. After some more testing, I found something. OnUpdate slot only breaks when multiple pals level up at the same time. It's probably just an issue because I hard-coded the 0. Fun times. It's not like that took me an entire day or anything. Since I have not found a function with which we can easily find which pal needs to be updated, we're just going to update the entire party. Change it to a for loop and there we go. Just bash in a few skulls and... oh shit. Off by 1 error. Rookie mistake. But with that, the mod should be done. It works. Yay! Or so I thought, because now when multiple pals level up, only the first one gets updated. So to get all of them to work, we have to only update the pal for which the function is called for, not every pal in our party. So great time, we now have to find which pal is in which slot. For every pal in our party, we check if that is the one that just leveled up by checking if the saved parameters are equal. However, as we can see, they never are equal. This means that we just have to check whether they are equal by hand. For every pal in our party, we check if the type, level, EXP, nickname and moves are the same as the one that leveled up. If they are, we can be fairly certain that it is the same pal. Oh, that's weird. That doesn't work? At least it's not something that a few print statements can't fix. Let's take a closer look at this entire list. Nickname, ID, level, EXP, nickname, skills, ID, level, EXP, nickname, skills. Well, that's interesting. Apparently the nicknames are not the same. Let's check what the actual nicknames are. Since both are empty but not equal, we just delete the part that checks the nickname. And now it works. Great. All that is left to do is update the slot that contains the pal that leveled up and make sure that it only happens if the pal is in our party. And it works! So now the mod is actually done. I swear, I'm not lying to you this time. There is however one slight issue. When multiple pals level up, the game freezes for a little bit. This is because of the loop that checks if the pal matches any of the pals in the party, since it just takes a little while to go through every single pal in the party for every single pal that levels up. While there might be a more efficient way to do this, I honestly do not know and I don't have the time to find that way. However, there is some good news. After filming I did add a few more speedups that limit it as much as possible. That stutter is still there and there's not really anything I can do to prevent it. If you are interested in these changes, you can check out my blog post that I linked in the description. It also helps if you are not running OBS for IDEs and about 1000 tabs in Chrome when you are playing with the mod. Who knew that would impact performance? And with that, the mod is done. Also, as a side note, if you are enjoying the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And with that out of the way, we can get to the final gameplay.